Birmingham, home to the Bullring, the Mailbox, 2 Major League football clubs, 3 major exhibition centres, the largest chocolate factory in Europe, and now a leading faculty in media studies at Birmingham City University. With the newly combined investment of £180 million into the city centre campus, Parkside and the Curzon building have drawn an influx of people with the prospects of studying in the largest student destination in the country. It would seem that student life now simply revolves around 4 simple actions: eat, sleep, rave, repeat. However, with a higher level of responsibility, mature students may be able to now dispel this myth. Celia Brandon is a second-year mature student at BCU, specialising in TV production on the BA Media and Communications course. She lives at home in nearby Erdington and balances her studies alongside looking after her 3 children.
Depending on the day, my day involves taking my children to school. If I'm scheduled to be at university, it's a case of dropping them to breakfast club, which starts before school, then making my way into Birmingham to go to a lecture at 9 o'clock till 12, coming home, tidying up, making dinner so that when my mum collects them from after school club, she can then just come to my house, heat up the dinner, give them a dinner. In the meantime, that'll be about 4 o'clock. In the meantime, I'll be starting another class that's 4 till 7. Then I'll return home at 7, spend about half an hour with my children, finding out how their day has been. And then in the evening, depending on whether I'm tired or not, I may start a reading task, or I may just crash out.
Much like Celia, Danny Beckford-Dawes is also a mature student with a specific future goal in mind. He has already gained years' experience in broadcasting prior to enrolling on the course and now wants to further a career in teaching media.
Gosh, it starts approximately about 6 o'clock in the morning because I don't drive into university. I go by public transport, so to get there it probably takes me an hour with all the rush hour traffic and all the children's run that happens. So 6:30 I'm up and out of the house by about 20 to 8, and then I'm at university. I'm doing TV documentary and image makers, which is photography. And so what I tend to do is I'm actually tending to lean towards photography, so I take out cameras all the time and I'm going out and practicing with the cameras and getting to know the cameras, also getting to know the university, because I've actually found parts of the university I didn't even know was there. And I usually finish sort of around about 2 o'clock, but then I stay on in university to use the computers to do research while I'm there, and just to meet and socialise with people.
Chris feels it is his ambition to drive his career through the course straight away to boost hard skills such as camera work and editing. Chris has recently secured a job at Alchemy, a youth development organisation, where he is tasked to film their efforts within the city he is originally from.
Coming from school, it felt really institutionalised, so I really wanted to break out of the 9 till 3:30 routine of just going through the same lessons I didn't find interesting. So I went to college and did media, which was different, especially coming away from sixth form and the idea of going there. College to me just seemed a lot more easygoing, a lot more freedom was involved, and you could also study what you wanted. You didn't really have to go and just study a broad range of subjects just because that's what you did.
After I graduate, I hope to achieve a career in the chosen field within media, somewhere along the lines of researcher, but it's still early days for me, so I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I would like to do. I know that you'd have to be something that can allow me to spend time with my children, that's not going to have me away from home for long periods of time. I hope to achieve the balance as a career woman and a family woman, a mother.
Well, I chose to return to education because I was made redundant from the city council with all the cuts that were being made, but at the same time I was actually working at a radio station that I helped set up in Birmingham as one of the community radio stations, and I've done 10 years with them, and I thought it was time to take it really seriously and get the qualifications that was needed to take me further in broadcasting.
I think the work that I'm doing right now helps me in the media industry by giving me a leg up, giving me something to put on my CV and footage I've edited and shot to show people that this is what I've done.
How I manage as a single parent, I have big support from my parents, as I said, with the childcare. I get support from friends, support regarding work, the workload. There are a number of students I can speak to and confide in and say, this isn't going well for me, this is going good for me. I get support from the tutors. They're very good at making themselves available, within reason, making themselves available to supporting you, being able to talk to them, not just about the school, the uni work, but about personal problems also.
Being a mature student has affected my life in a number of ways. One is that I'm not earning as much money now, so I have to be very careful with my budgets. I'm very tight with my budgets. I'm not able to afford some of the things I'd really like to do. For example, like go on holidays. I've had to be careful what holidays I go on and how much they cost, because before I'm quite happy to go to a really nice destination, but now I'm being very careful with what I'm doing.
Right now I live in my parents' house, which is always nice to stay at home. I can get by living with my parents, so I don't need necessarily to take a loan to buy food and pay rent and things like that. And I also have a small part-time job as a freelance camera operator for a company I work for.
Sometimes I think to myself, because there can be a bit of the mean girls act amongst some of the females, it can be quite bitchy, I felt, especially the females. I haven't really had anything from the males. The males just tend to get on with it. They know what they've got to do and they just get on with it. Whereas the females, it's like they have to... It's about asserting their position, and I've had to tell a number of them, I'm not the same age as you. I might look like it, but I'm not the same age as you. I have children and I'm serious about what I'm doing. You have more time to mess up and go back to clearing whatever it is that you've got to do. Me, I don't have that time. I don't have that patience either to do that. So I'd rather just get on with what I've got to do and just achieve what it is I set out to achieve.
That's an issue I've had right from the day one in terms of getting used to, because I'm a mature student and a lot of my fellow students are all young students who've just progressed straight from higher education from further education into higher education, and the frustration I have is that coming from a background where I've been working, so my work ethics tend not to be the same as the other students. Students will take things quite blasé, and for me, I have to be serious about my studies.
So, reflecting on the students who participated, it's clear to see that there's a difference in motivation for studying at university, and it seems like it's mainly dependent on the age and maturity of each student. This is particularly true of those with media aspirations. Evidently, younger students have shown that they are able to somewhat balance their social lives with their studies. But for these young freshers, it may be a case of university becoming a learning curve for them as their priorities change and their responsibilities grow.